What's going on, guys? Welcome back to AOE. First things first, we want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. And we just saw Volume 2 of Stranger Things. We saw it during Christmas time. We had like a whole watch party, and it was fun. But right now, we're about to give our review, and basically, we're going to talk about it. So let's get right into it.
Area of entertainment.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back, and now let's get into the episodes.
All right, so
there's 3 episodes.
So first things first.
Shock Jock,
at the bridge.
bridge.
No. Shock Jock, Escape from Camazotz, and the bridge. And first things first, we're not going to talk about spoilers, but so far, this whole season has been really good. Basically, this whole season is just explaining what's happening, and they're just trying to, like, explain, like...
this volume.
Like, basically, they're just trying to explain the Upside Down.
They're trying to tie up a lot of loose ends.
Just tie it up. Like, but overall, it's like there's a lot of elements that, you know, are kind of key to like the whole thing, but then also there's like not really stuff, and it's just like stuff that's to fill in. But yeah, the stuff about Camazotz and like where that place is, and like what Max and Holly are doing, and even like with Will and that group. Yeah,
there's a lot of different storylines.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and even with like in the Upside Down with Dustin and all of them, that's a whole thing that is like technically the biggest thing. But anyways,
that's what we get most of our
But so far, this volume I think is like an 8.
I'd say it's a 7. I mean, it was a little slow for me. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to wrap up a lot of the storyline, and what they're doing is like, let's answer all these questions in this volume. That way, the finale we can just go hard.
Yeah,
you know? Like we just go with the action. We answer a few things that are still missing because they don't answer everything this volume, but you can see that they're gonna answer them the next one because we still don't know what happened in the cave.
Yeah.
So that's one answer they didn't release. I mean, we kind of know if you know know a little bit of the lore and you know, watch the play.
Yeah, like if you watch the play, you kind of know, but like
what happened during the play, like in the school?
So
we don't know yet.
Yeah, so like here's like in the play. Spoilers, if you want to see the play, you know, you can go see the play. But anyways, just in the play, it's like, oh, in the cave, that's where Henry like got interacted with the mind flare, or should I say like the particles that gave him his powers. So he wasn't born with his powers, he just interacted with the particles, and the particles gave him his power, and then it slowly kind of turned him evil in a sense. That's basically
we didn't
what
get that answer. We got a few things answered, you know, what is the Upside Down and stuff like that, but that's a little bit of the spoilers. Our overall, I'd say this volume was a 7. You know, it was good. It was a little slow. They did tie up a lot of loose ends, but they kept the story moving. You know, it was entertaining, and let's get into spoilers because that's where the meat is. So spoiler warning for everybody here. All right, so we're gonna go right into the spoiler section because that's what you guys came for, and that's what we all love. So spoilers away.
So we're gonna start with Shock Jock. The main thing in this episode is they try to resurrect the Demogorgon.
Well, not resurrected because with
they're bringing it to life.
Well, they were activating the cells.
Yeah.
Because they needed Will to tap into the mind, the hive mind, but he needed a living thing close by.
Yeah.
So they activated the cells in the Demogorgon by using electricity, and then Will did.
Yeah,
which was a long shot plan because they automatically assumed because Will got powers, he's stronger than Vecna. Which was kind of dumb.
Well, like, his mom was like, let's get him close to the hive mind, go into Vecna's head, kill him, and then end it. But then it's like a whole thing because, like...
he tries,
but then Vecna's too strong. He forces him out, but he traps his mind inside of Vecna's mind. And
like, the only reason that Will succeeded in what he did was breaking the leg was because he caught Vecna by surprise.
Yeah, so like...
that's the only reason why it actually worked.
Yeah, so that whole thing where he broke his leg, all that, he told Holly and Max to escape because during that scene, Vecna was trying to, like, kill Max. But then he was like, he controlled Vecna's mind, and then Max and Holly were able to escape, and then he was like, run. And then that's when he went to the coma and all that, and that's what happened with them. And then the whole plot with everybody else, though, like, we got Dustin, Steve, and all them. Like,
I felt like that was the main because that plot line gave us the reason, the answer of what is the Upside Down and what is Hawk in the Upside Down.
Yeah, so in this episode, Dustin, Steve, Nancy and Jonathan, they're in the Upside Down. They go to the lab, and then Nancy and Jonathan, they kind of find this place that's like melted and it's really weird and stuff. And then they find that there's just this giant ball above like the lab, and it's like it's invisible, but like light it reflects in a weird way. And then that's when with Dustin and Steve, they get into a little fight, an altercation. But that's when Dustin finds Dr. Brenner's notebook, and then he figures out that it's not like a shield generator, which Dustin says like it's a shield generator from like Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, because like the Death Star and stuff. But that's a whole thing. But so he's like, oh, like maybe we have to destroy the shield generator to try to get through the wall. But then he figures out that it's not that at all, and it's like, oh, if you destroy that, all of us are gonna die, and then we kind of don't know, and then
that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode. But also during the episode, we kind of see stuff about like Callie and Eleven and Hopper, them in the Upside Down.
Which was a stupid storyline.
Which that storyline, I don't think it was stupid, but it was just explaining that Callie, when she was in that military like place, they're doing the same program that Papa did, where Dr. K is taking Callie's blood and putting it into pregnant women, so then they could make more kids that have powers and stuff. And Callie and Eleven, or Callie specifically, is telling Eleven that, hey, like, even if we kill Henry, it doesn't end, like, because it will keep going and going and going. And then 11 is like now thinking like, oh shoot, like
I do have to sacrifice myself.
Like like we might have to do something there. And then the other stuff with Camazotz, that's a whole thing where they have to escape, and that's
so
the whole
Max
thing.
is still trying to escape with Holly.
Yeah.
And then we get to episode 2.
Yeah, in episode 2, Escape from Camazotz,
which they actually succeed.
So the main thing in this is that they kind of find a piece of Henry's memory, where Henry as a kid found this scientist, that the scientist shot at him, but then Henry killed this scientist, and he opened like this briefcase, which I think that's where like the particles and like all that. But that's kind of stuff that like they kind of like look past a little bit, because we see Max and Holly kind of find a way out of Camazotz. While all that's happening, back to like Will and Lucas and all them, which is weird because like in this part, Robin is on the nose and on the money on like, oh, like her mind is trapped in Vecna's mind and Holly's mind is trapped, and it's like, dang, like, and that's kind of like, you could solve
the mystery.
Yeah, and you could just tell like that's like the writers just like wrapping it up and be like, oh yeah, Robin knew that, oh, like, you know, she basically just understood everything.
They rushed that because it felt like they could have flushed that out a little better, you know, like. She might not have figured it out on her own, but she could have pieced it together over over the episodes. But like she knew automatically, like, okay,
it was literally just light bulb. That's it.
Right. So it's like, you know, these 3 episodes are rushed. Like they feel rushed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because they're like not rushed, but like they're trying to wrap up quickly because they only had so much time.
Yeah. Will is now trapped in like kind of like Vecna's mind, and he's trying to fight him. But what happened is that Vecna was like, "Oh, you're gonna be my spy one last time," and basically he figures out where Max is, and she's in the hospital, and he sends demo dogs to go get her and kill her. And that's when Lucas and all of them, they're trying to go to the hospital and kind of like do their thing. So now Robin, Lucas, Mac, and Vicky, which is Robin's girlfriend, they kind of are in the run and stuff in the hospital from like the demo dogs. And then simultaneously Max and Holly are in the Upside Down, and they're trying to like do their thing.
Yeah, they're escaping.
And long story short, we have like a whole talk with Max and Holly, which is actually, I think, is an important scene, because like Holly is like, it's like she had like a whole thing where like she was crying because like she was like, you're escaping, you're gonna leave me all alone. But she was like, hey, like,
you gotta find your own way.
You have to find your own way, because like blah blah this and that. But it's kind of like a heartfelt moment, because it's like she explains like, oh, like, I never needed Kate Bush. All I needed was Lucas. And then it was funny because Holly was like, I don't have a boyfriend though. But she was like, no, like, you don't need that. You just need something that ties yourself to the real world. And then she was like, Mike, because Mike gave her like the little toy.
That episode
Holly
Dario cried on.
I didn't cry on that scene. But anyways, but yeah, so that's when
he's like, you're the heart.
No, and that's when Holly finds her own path, and then that's when they kind of both run.
And hold on, that we don't know what her path is, because she just wakes up in Camazotz and it takes the vine out her mouth. Well, we don't know what it was that helped her get out of the trance.
I think it was just like her, like, it was basically just like her believing in herself, kind of like she's now not scared. She was just like being heroic and being who she is.
She went to a memory the same way Max did.
I think that's what it is.
But like they just kind of skipped that, because we flash forward to her body and then she wakes up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but just say like the end of this episode, Escape from Camazotz, is literally Max and Holly running, and then it just ends there right there. So we don't like. So it kind of like is like, oh, we don't know if they escaped or not, but they did escape. And yeah, so that's that. And then also we kind of learn more about the whole Dustin, Steve, and like the upside down thing, where like Dustin explains that it's not a shield generator and it's not dark magic. It's made from science. And Dr. Brenner created this thing where it's basically like dark matter. No, not dark matter.
He didn't create it.
No, he did. Like they said that science created it. Like they created this thing, so it's like it could tie. He said that Dr. Brenner created it so Henry could be tied still with their world, and kind of like hold them back. It's weird.
I'm gonna rewatch.
It's
that,
really weird, but
I
like
feel like it wasn't created. It happened. Like it's part of the wormhole.
I don't know. I don't know, but like it's just a weird thing because even when Dustin is explaining it and how like it's all everything,
Right.
It's just weird because like it's like he explains it like the upside down and Hawkins are like this. So Hawkins is just a bridge to Dimension X. So it's kind of like it's like
Right.
a wormhole.
Now it's upside down Hawkins.
Yeah.
So our world is Hawkins up here, right? Then we got the bridge, which is where upside down Hawkins is.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom is Dimension
X. So it's kind of
so
like
they can leak into
yeah,
each other in that upside
so it's
down.
kind of like saying that the upside down Hawkins is just like a pathway towards Dimension X, and Dimension X has all the Demogorgons and
Yeah.
everything that they kind of break through Dimension X, go into the upside down, hunt there, and then they break through and go into Hawkins. So that's just how it like kind of goes.
So the whole plan is moving forward is that they're gonna try and blow up the upside down
Yeah.
by destroying the actual orb that they found.
But yeah,
all right. So wrapping up, we gotta go last episode, which is the bridge.
Which is the bridge where we kind of like that's when like kind of all the characters kind of come together.
Right. So now
all the
Avengers are assembled.
Yeah, like basically in the previous episode we get like a whole thing where like 11 and Callie and Hopper they escape because when Nancy shot the shield generator, it did like
a little rip in the
it did
wall.
a rip in the wall where the wall is kind of like a black hole, so it starts sucking things into a void, and that's when like Hopper saw like a gate open, and then 11 and them escaped, and also we basically go into like another gate where we get Dustin and all of them out of there, and basically it's just this last episode is just everyone is now together now, and everyone's not like in the upside down, and that's when like they kind of explain everything. Like Max is
now. I'm gonna tell you something that's really stupid that they did.
What?
Right in this episode, they had 11 lift up a metal sheet. They jump into the upside down. Why did Hopper have to do the crawl? If she could just open up a plate on one of the cracks.
Because like. Wait, no. It's because
right.
No, it's because how they won't get caught.
Okay, you let them go for a couple hours. Boom, come back. We open it back up.
That's the thing, though, is that she had to take out the cameras and all that.
The only thing I could think about is that on the other side, he can't open it. There's no opening on the other side.
I think that's probably why.
But I think that the reason why that the plates are there is to cover up the gate, right?
Yeah.
So it's always gonna be open. It goes both ways. So that's how they got Dustin out through that door.
I think either way, it's like more like it's the sense of them getting caught, because like right now the government like it's like this. Before all that, the military and the government had no idea that they were like doing that. So like it was always like kind of secret, but now like the government knows that they are there. They know that they're like trying to get to the upside down, and they know that 11 is still alive. Because way before that, they had no idea where 11 was and all that because they were hidden. But now it's out in the open.
My thing is like
they're like, oh screw it, like let's just get in there, get them, and
right,
that's
but
it.
They took the risk, right, of sneaking into the van, and then hopefully not getting caught that way, right, and then getting sneaked in by the trucks. Right, to go into the portal at the base, the army base, right, the military base. Instead of that, they could have went to a sheet on the ground, picked it up, let Hopper slide through, drop the sheet back down.
But that's
let's
the
go
thing
back
is
to
that
our spot, wait a little bit, come back, lift it up.
But there was cameras that were watching
Not the whole. I don't think that the whole crack. There was 4 split.
But remember, like the scene before that they were gonna go. 11 took out the cameras, and
but that was that area though.
Yeah, but like they were like, oh shoot, like the cameras got taken out by like a strange force. Go check it out. He was like, okay, come on, we have to go check it out. And then when they went to check it out, they're like, it's the girl. And then that's when they found out that, oh shoot.
But I don't think there was cameras all on all the whole thing, because they showed a scene in the first episode where kids were sliding on.
Yeah, but what happened right after?
the police show up.
Exactly. So it's like they're always on surveillance on all like the metal sheets. So it's kind of like
I don't know.
it shows that if 11 did that way before, I think
like sneaking onto a Humvee is more risky than lifting up a sheet and having his.
But that's the thing is that I think they only did that so they could be hidden, and they were willing to take that risk with Hopper, because Hopper, I'm pretty sure Hopper was like, oh yeah, I'll take that risk, because like realistically they don't know 11 is alive, so it's like, let's keep her hidden. And that's why, like, you know, that.
I get it.
But anyways, long story short,
the last episode.
the last episode kind of wraps up, and everyone kind of comes together, and Dustin explains, like, you know, the bridge and everything, and like it's a whole thing, and that's when everyone's kind of figuring out a plan. Hopper is like, oh, like let's get this helicopter and ram it into like the sky and all that, but they're like, what are we gonna die, like, you know, doing it? He's like, you have to take risks or else we die. But then that's when Steve like finally has like a good plan, and he explains we should wait until Vecna, because the whole thing is that Vecna is trying to merge the worlds together.
Yeah, he wants to bring the Dimension X
into the real world.
Our world into one.
And by doing so, the Dimension X is in the sky of the Upside Down, so it slowly goes down until it breaks open into our world. So Steve is saying like, oh, let's wait until this dimension pierces through the radio tower, so then we could just climb up the radio tower through it, and then it's not as high, and then we could just easily like do that, and then we could like blow up the shield generator, and it's like, oh, so basically it's like it's a whole plan that they made that it involves everybody, because even with 11 and Callie, they're like, oh, we should go into Vecna's mind, and Max joins because Max knows Vecna's mind. And it's basically just connecting the dots of like everything. And then even like with stuff going on with like other characters too, like in Camazotz, Holly gets
Henry's getting all the kids together.
Yeah, like even with Holly, like Holly tries to escape, but then Vecna takes her back, and then Holly looks crazy with all the kids, and he's using the kids to kind of like, you know, like merge the worlds, and it's basically just like a whole thing that's happening. But I'm pretty sure that's literally just that's like the sum of what happens in that episode.
And then they kind of tackle her down and kind of like brainwash her. Yeah. And then the pretty much the episode ends with Henry, Vecna getting all the kids together and doing like it's like a ritual. It's like a ritual where he's like controlling all of them, so they all go into trance. Yeah. So the episode ends him activating his plan. Yeah. So I think he activated the merge. The next episode is gonna be, you know, the plan that everybody has is. Yeah. Oh, and so the way how they do, like, the way how that happens is that they literally, like the teacher and Erica don't go with them, but they kind of, like, are, like the lookouts. And then Murray in a truck with, like, everybody, they, like, ran through the fences, and they go through the gate, and even, like, Dr. K sees that 11 is with them and all that. And then, long story short, they're now in the Upside Down. And they're like, oh, that was just the easy part, but now, like, the hard part's coming. And then it's, like, a whole thing there. Fun fact, though. The teacher, when he opened the gates for them, because he found the RFID code on them, he says something. What does he say?
What? Open Sesame?
No, he says Melon. And Melon in Lord of the Rings is what the password they use to open the gate to Moria. So it was funny. I was like, oh, shit, okay.
Because they're nerds.
Yeah. Well, the teacher said it, so I was like, oh, okay. Because he was like, Melon, he hit the button, cling. Wow. And he opened the gate for Murray just to go through. But overall, great volume.
Yeah, like it was
we're
good.
Excited for volume 3, the finale.
It's like this, like there's a lot of like characters that I kind of don't like.
Yeah, like, I mean they're putting too much.
Like it's like this. No offense to Callie, like there's probably people that like her and like, you know, all that. She's a good character. It's just that like I just feel like that like her like idea of like we have to die.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I feel like it's kind of dumb because it's like, dude, you understand that 11 has so many people that don't want her to die, like Hopper, Mike, and even like Hopper and Mike, they're trying to tell her like, trust me, we're gonna get through this. Hopper's way of like kind of saying it though is kind of bad because he's saying like, oh, I'll sacrifice myself to save you. But like with Mike, it's like, trust me, like after this we're gonna go somewhere, like they will never find you, like I promise. And it's like a whole thing. But Callie's like, they will find him, they will find you, they're gonna kill you.
But like they kill her friends.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I don't understand like why she's doing
just
that,
because it happened to her.
Yeah, but like it does.
But my theory is that once they kill Vecna and they kill the Mind Flayer, they're gonna lose all of their powers.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Because they got their powers from Vecna and
because what I feel like is that like she doesn't understand either what Vecna really is.
Right.
She kind of says like oh, I know everything about Henry, like in a sense of like she knew about him, but I don't think she understands the whole thing with like the mind flare and like all of that. So she doesn't understand like maybe if we killed Henry, aka the mind flare, we might lose our powers, and like that's just like a whole thing because the particles are inside of us. But when they get released, we don't have our powers anymore and stuff.
Just get away. It might just dissipate from their blood.
Yeah.
You know, they might evaporate out.
There's like other characters too that I kind of like are a little bit iffy. Like, oh yeah, and like we have the whole like Jonathan and Nancy plot where it's like their relationship and they kind of fix it, and that's like a whole thing.
Well, I think they broke up.
No. They literally got engaged.
I don't think so. He literally said, "Don't accept my engagement."
Yeah, but that was just like, oh, like because they thought they were gonna die. But they didn't. Yeah, like you could tell that
like he threw the ring, but we never see the ring after. I don't know if he picked it back up.
No, they like dropped it and then like it rode away.
And then they fell.
And then that's when like
solid.
Yeah, but like you could just tell that like they're kind of scared of killing characters in a sense. Because it's like...
This ain't Game of Thrones.
That's
what he said, the curator.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that they're kind of scared of killing characters because it's like that scene was a powerful scene that's like, yo, like they are going to die. Like no one's going to help them. But then it just magically
stops.
Like literally right at the tip of the table that they're on, it just solidifies. And it's like, oh, shoot, like they're not dead. And then also just other scenes too where like some characters should like we're like, oh shoot, like they're about to die, but then like they don't die. Like there's a scene where Dustin and Steve have like a powerful scene where like Dustin's like, I don't want you to die, and then Steve was trying to like climb this ladder to go through, but then we see a few seconds later the ladder literally falls, all the stories, and it shows that Steve was gonna die if he would have went. So it kind of like shows like that. But I think that they're trying to save for the last episode where it's like a very like a character that a lot of people think that if he or she's not gonna die. I think that the whole Steve thing is just so. Here's the thing that I think.
Or Hopper.
If a marketing campaign, right, is trying to push so hard that a character is specifically dying, literally like everybody, like on Instagram, everything, even like the Duffer Brothers, they're like kind of forcing, Steve's gonna die, like, you know, like they're really forcing it. And even back in season 4, they were forcing it too.
It's a bluff.
So I think it's more like there's no way that if a character is really getting pushed on, hey, this guy's gonna die, it's not gonna happen. Because I feel like, because going back to the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, that whole campaign and that whole marketing that James Gunn did with that is that Rocket is gonna die. Literally, like, Rocket is gonna die, like he's gonna die. Like it was a whole thing that people were like, no, Rocket's gonna die. But then when you watch the movie, he's like kind of like, you know,
on his deathbed,
but he still survives. So it's kind of like it's a fake out. So I think that there's gonna be moments where like Steve is probably gonna like, he's kind of gonna die, but it's like he's just gonna survive, and then
somebody gotta die.
But I think that someone else is gonna die. That is gonna be like a twist.
Who?
It's gonna be Mike.
You think Mike gonna die?
I think Mike, even though we do see behind the scenes pictures and stuff like on Hopper and him talking on the bench, and it's like that's the ending, but I just think that like maybe he's gonna die in a sense of like, because I feel like Mike the whole time, like he's just like, he's the leader, like
yeah, but he's never been in danger.
That's the point. So imagine imagine he's never been in danger until the last moment where like he dies, and it's like, oh, a big, like that'll be a big twist because people won't expect it. And obviously I know a lot of people kind of don't like Mike, and they'll probably be excited that he's dying, but it's like, come on,
Mike
like
really, like, yeah, he's like the leader of the group, but it's like he really don't.
He's been the leader this whole time in this season.
Yeah, but he don't do shit.
He literally he's literally let all of them.
Lucas saved Max from the hospital. You know, he's doing shit. You know what I mean?
He literally made all the plans for everything.
And they all failed.
No, all of them succeeded. Like his plan for drugging like the Turnbows and getting Derek and all that succeeded because Derek was able to help them, and like it was a whole thing there. And even like
the kids get taken still.
Yeah, but that was because of Vecna's plan, and also that wasn't his plan either. That was someone else's plan.
What I'm saying is that Mike is like a useless character. No, he's only there to be Elle's love interest.
No, literally, like he's a leader to all of them, and also that was not Mike's plan. That was Robin's plan. That to like go to the tunnels, do all that. That was her plan. So it wasn't Mike's plan.
Who drugged them?
What
was Mike's plan?
Mike's plan was literally like the whole Home Alone thing, where it's like we should track the demo and all that. That worked. That plan worked.
It still didn't work good.
Dude, it still worked. And it's
Mike is like, honestly, even since like season 3, he's been like an ass character.
Season 3, he doesn't do a lot because the writers don't give him anything. But every
even
scene,
season 4,
every scene, he's good. Like even like the scene where in the sauna scene in season 3, where like Billy is flayed and it's a whole thing. Who comes to save 11? Mike.
Man.
What? But anyways, we're gonna move on from that.
Mike's not the smart one like Dustin. He's not the jock one like Lucas.
Because he's the leader.
He's just Will's boyfriend.
No, he's the leader.
He's just Will's boyfriend.
You gotta understand that, like...
And then Will comes out.
You gotta understand that, like...
Will admitted that he don't like girls.
You gotta understand that a leader doesn't have to be smart.
And then Will was like, I had a crush on somebody.
Oh, yeah, like, that's also a powerful scene that we missed.
And he looked at Mike.
Yeah, that's a powerful scene that we missed, but, like, that's kind of, like, the ending, like...
It pretty much, like... Will wasn't scared anymore, so it's like now he's gonna be like
because it was
Will
a whole it was a whole thing that like when he was under Vecna's like thing, like it was like Vecna showed me things that like would happen if I don't do this, so I have to tell you guys so he won't use it against me anymore. So he told them, and now it's like all of them are like, we accept you for who you are, like it's like blah blah. It's
all good.
Yeah, it was all good. But Mike is the GOAT.
All right, so hopefully Mike dies because nobody like him.
That's crazy, man. He's gonna die for good reason. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed us reviewing Stranger Things Volume 2, Season 5. Can't wait for Volume 3 on New Year's Eve.
The finale.
Yeah, the finale, which is gonna be crazy.
2 hours long.
Just to get 2 hours, so we're gonna see what happens. Comment down below who you guys think is gonna die, and it could be Mike, it could be 11, heck, it could be someone random like Murray. You never we have no idea.
It's gonna be Hopper.
Yeah, we never know. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and click the little bell to get notified on every video that we do. We're AOE, and we're out. Peace.